Hey guys, Bios Ramos, and today, Thursday, the Miami Dolphins defeated the Baltimore Ravens 22 to 10. And sorry for the noise, all the exposure around me, and for a lot of those who go to Tortuga Music Festival, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, Miami Dolphins got their second consecutive win, which is awesome. Nice big old birthday dub for the boy. But aside from that, I mean, it was just a phenomenal game, man. I was so glad I was in town and able to watch it this week because it's always good when you get to see it happen in front of your face. Watching it on TV is fun and stuff, but definitely having that in person experience is unprecedented. Uh, I said three things. I said the Dolphins need to put pressure on Lamar Jackson and capitalize on it, make mistakes happen, and win those 50-50 balls. And then on top of that, stay consistent, try to develop a running game. They tried that. It wasn't working, but the Dolphins on offense had a few big plays that really benefited them really good on offense. Otherwise, it was pretty much the same thing on both sides for both teams. Ravens are really good on defense. Dolphins are really good on defense, and it was a highly defensive game. There's a lot of going on around me, so sorry about the noise. Probably this car is gonna come by or something. So let's go over some stats real quick. We'll start with the Ravens. Lamar Jackson went 26 of 43, 238 yards, one touchdown and one interception. He was sacked 4 times for a loss of 28 yards. That was huge. Now, when you look at passing for the Miami Dolphins, we have Tua Tagovailoa. Yes, Tua Tagovailoa played the game. He came in the second half. He went 8 of 13, 158 yards. Was sacked once for a loss of 6 yards. And then we have Jacoby Brissett, 11 of 23, 156 yards, and sacked twice for a loss of 17 yards total. And then they have Albert Wilson there. They did ran a little screen pass type play action type thing. He got the ball in the backfield, and he went to go take a pass and got sacked for a loss of 1 yard. So that's not anything crazy. Now, when we look at the rushing stats, Lamar Jackson was the Ravens' leading rusher. 9 carries, 39 yards. His longest was 11. And then they have Devontae Freeman, 10 carries, 35 yards. Not anything else worth mentioning there. Then we have Myles Gaskin for the Miami Dolphins, 14 carries, 31 yards. Albert Wilson, 2 carries, 19 yards. He had a big 14-yard run. That was huge for the Dolphins. Albert Wilson surprisingly had a great game for the Dolphins. Receiving-wise for the Ravens, Rashad Bateman had 6 receptions, 80 yards. Mark Andrews, 6 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown. And then Marquise Brown was the next receiver, 6 receptions, 37 yards, nothing crazy there. That's because the Dolphins defense kept on applying that pressure, pretty much sending engage 8 blitzes, if you guys play Madden, pretty much bringing pressure every single down. And the Dolphins lived in the Ravens' backfield and definitely tried to stop that running attack. As a team, the Ravens barely had 100 yards rushing, which was a pretty good thing that the Dolphins stopped them from doing. Let's see, receiving for the Dolphins, Albert Wilson is the Dolphins' leading receiver. He had 4 receptions, 87 yards. He had a 64-yard reception, which was huge. And Isaiah Ford is right behind them. 4 receptions, 84 yards. He had a 52-yarder. And it was right before the half, and he didn't go out of bounds. And he tweeted after the game, he's like, yes, I know, go out of bounds. But, it's still big when you have a playmaker in Isaiah Ford. Surprisingly. No Devontae Parker, he's out on IR. And then Preston Williams, I don't think he played. And then Matt Collins has been surprisingly good for the Dolphins, but he didn't really do much in this game. Speaking of Matt Collins, Preston Williams did play, by the way. Matt Collins got 1 target and didn't catch it. So let's see who else. Jalen Waddle, 4 receptions, 61 yards. It's Adam Shaheen. The Titans came up to play. Adam Shaheen, Darren Smythe, and Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki didn't do much. He had 0 catches on 7 targets, but they were blanketing him all day long. They were putting their best defender. I think Marlon Humphrey was on him for a good amount of time. Now, defensively for the Ravens, big play. Fumbles, Sammy Watkins. He fumbled and lost it. That's the one that Xavier Howard forced the fumble, scooped it up, and took it for a touchdown. That was probably one of the biggest plays of the game. Aside from that, other big plays were the two big time receptions by Albert Wilson and Isaiah Ford that were completely wide open, which was crazy that the Dolphins were able to do that twice against the Ravens. Let's see what else. Marquise Brown fumbled it, but I think Rashad Bateman got on top of it. Let's see what else here. Liam Eigenberg for the Dolphins jumped on two fumbles, one from Tua and one from Jacoby Brissett, and he jumped on both of them. That was huge. Those would have been like killer if the Ravens recovered them. Probably both times were in Dolphins territory, so it would have been easy for the Ravens to probably score off that. That just momentum shift type stuff. Leading tackler for the Dolphins, Brandon Jones or Byron Jones. Let's see which one it is. It is Byron Jones. Wow, surprising. 9 total tackles, 7 solo. Then next is Brandon Jones, 7 total, 6 solo. Landon Roberts had a sack, tackle for a loss, and 1 QB hit. Javion Holland had a sack, tackle for a loss, 2 pass deflections, 1 QB hit. Let's see what else. Van Ginkel had half a sack. He shared that half sack with Jalen Phillips. Adam Butler got a sack as well. The defense was just living in the Ravens' backfield, and it was awesome to see. Justin Coleman had an interception, and then not much else happening there. Jason Sanders went 3 for 3 on field goals, 1 for 1 on extra points. And Matt Harley had 8 punts for 348 yards. 2 were in the 20. Sorry for all the noise. But it was a huge game for the Miami Dolphins. The 3 things I said the Dolphins need to do to capitalize and get a win. Pressure on Lamar Jackson. Did that. Won the 50-50 balls. More so or less. It was just an ugly defensive game for the most part. The Dolphins just got lucky with a few big-time plays and then established that running game. I mean, the Dolphins really didn't have any runs that are worth talking about. Like, let's see how many runs in total the Miami Dolphins had. It was 22 carries and total for 60 yards. So the running game is definitely a problem. I'm not sure if it's running back or if it's the offensive line, but if the Dolphins want to be a successful team moving forward, even if we can get a good run going, which is going to be something I'm going to talk about in a second, they just need to establish that running attack, especially when you play in those colder environments. You need to run the ball. It's going to be hard to throw the ball in some places. We need to start running the ball. Offensively, through the offensive line, it needs help, or the running backs. I'm not sure. It's some weeks it's Myles Gaskin can't find a hole, and then other weeks it's the offensive line cannot hold a block for their life. So that's give and take right there. But the Dolphins' upcoming schedule is favorable. I'm not saying that the Dolphins are going to go on this magical run, but they have a chance to actually maybe escape this next couple of games being 7-7. Let's see. So Dolphins face the Jets next week on the 21st. Then they face the Panthers on the 28th. Jets away, Panthers at home. Then they face the Giants the following week at home. And then they face the Jets at home. I think they have a bye between the Jets and the Giants game. Saints, Titans, Patriots. The Dolphins could have a possible chance, at least up until that second Jets game, to be 7-7. That's the best case scenario. Straight wins, 6 straight wins. That would be for the Dolphins at that point. Aside from that, then they close off the season against the Saints, Titans, and Patriots. It's going to be tough. I think the Patriots are going to be lobbying for a playoff spot at that point in the season. So hopefully the Dolphins are too. So maybe it can make it more interesting. But I was very excited with what happened in this Dolphins game. And hopefully we can get on this run that I just mentioned that could be possible. They just got to keep executing and doing well. I liked what I saw from the defense, and I liked what I saw from Tua coming in and able to, stay within the pocket, deliver those tough throws that the Dolphins needed in order to get the win. But that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys watching, and it was a great time watching those Dolphins whoop on those Ravens. Final score was 22-10, Thursday Night Football on Veterans Day. Shout out to all our military members serving here in the U.S. Appreciate you guys for watching, and have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'll catch you guys next week.